Given the Dubs will be without Stephen Curry until at least a potential Game 6 against the Minnesota Timberwolves, Jimmy Butler III will have to attempt more than 13 shots and score more than 17 points. Last series, when the Warriors played Game 3 without Jimmy Butler due to a pelvic contusion, Stephen Curry dropped a game-high 36 points on 12 for 23 shooting from the field, and in order for the Dubs to go up 2-1, the Warriors will need a similar performance from the Butler. Along with needing playoff Jimmy, the Warriors need a key role player like Moses Moody to find himself. Over the last 3 games, Moody's confidence has looked shot, and he's shooting 0 for 11 from the field. If the Warriors can't get 10 to 15 points each from 2 key role players in Brandon Podziemski to go along with Moody, then it's going to be tough to win without Steph. On that note, Steve Kerr affirmed that Kaminga and TJD will be a part of the Game 3 rotation, saying there's no Steph, it's a completely different team. Everything has to be about finding a new formula, and JK is absolutely a part of that new formula. TJD showed that he can be effective against this team, so Kerr detailed that everything is about finding a new formula, and that should stand true both in terms of the rotations and the offensive game plan. Steve said his team needed a day off following Game 1, as he didn't even show them film. I hope the Warriors went over the tape of Game 2 though, because there were times when they could have ran the inverted split action for Butler with Jimmy receiving a back screen and a big dishing from either the far right or left wing. The Warriors didn't run a single inverted split action in Game 2, as the offense was for the most part pick and roll and isolation based. Certain sets were executed, but it was basically all improvisation without the offense having specific play sets to flow around. The offense needs to be much more organized, and the defense also has to be night and day better, as the Wolves shot over 50% from the field and 43% from distance in Game 2. As Kerr also alluded to before Game 2, the Warriors can't survive without Steph if their defense isn't in 8th gear. One of the lone bright spots in Game 2 was Jonathan Kaminga. JK scored a Warrior-high 18 points off the bench, and he shot a fantastic 8 for 11 from the field. Given Kerr already stated that Kaminga is going to be in the rotation going forward without Steph, I wouldn't be surprised if JK starts in Game 3. While people are saying the Warriors just have to win one of the next 3 games to advance the series so Steph can get back, the bottom line is, as we stand, the series is knotted at 1. This means the Stephless Dubs taking it 1 possession at a time, getting out in transition as much as possible, limiting the turnovers and executing in the half court while keeping their defense in check, as I said before, needs to be this roster 1 through 15's only focus. These were the top sound bites post-game following Golden State's Game 2L.
I know you don't pay much attention to what's out there, but just so you can know, everybody's expecting this massive thing, this reputation of playoff Jimmy. What is that like living under that burden or expectation?
I don't have a burden or expectation. I don't. I play basketball the right way. I will continue to play basketball the right way. If that time comes where, you're people that are saying whatever, supposed to score 40 or 43, whatever the case may be, I'm capable of it. I can do it. But I love making sure that my guys are comfortable, passing the ball to them, taking the right shots at the right time. But we'll talk about it. If that may be needed, who knows?
I'm not going to push this with Butler in this.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. I didn't want to push it with Draymond or Jimmy. I didn't want to chase this game unless it was really gettable. And we obviously made a push in the second half, but first half we went in going. We went into the game thinking we're playing a lot of people, short burst minutes, and try to protect Jimmy and Draymond. They've been playing huge minutes every other day, flying all over the country, so we had to weigh that.
You described that baseline drive dunk over Gobert.
I think, I don't know, a lot of people didn't see it, but Draymond hit me, and I was trying to find Jimmy, and Jimmy was like, go, because once he saw Gobert on me, it was just like, go. And I was like, wow, this is the moment. Might as well just make something good happen. And I think, just having Draymond and Jimmy telling me to go, that's a big trust, and they just had to make something happen.
I think part of the game plan coming in was to play a lot of people, and we did. I think we played 13, 14 people in the first half. And part of the reasoning is, obviously the fatigue of, the run we've been on with all the travel and the games, but part of it also, we have to figure out what we're going to be able to do in this series without Steph. And so we gave a lot of people a lot of chances, and then, some guys really stepped up. Trace and JK were both really good in this game. You could see that their athleticism was important, and I thought we made a really spirited run, got it to 7, and then we just kind of lost a little bit of composure. We turned it over right out of that timeout a couple of times and gave up a couple of threes where we lost connection defensively. But we learned a lot, and I think this game will help us figure out, how to move forward.
You mentioned the experimentation. How much, as you head towards Game 3, do you need to then quickly pare it down? And how much of what you saw tonight, particularly from Trace and Kaminga, makes you believe that they have to be heavy players?
I mean, those guys really performed well and showed why they can help us win this series. So they're going to be part of it for sure. We've got to figure out rotations, who we want to start, all that stuff. But both guys are going to play a role.
Steve, what did you
look like? The angry black man. I'm not an angry black man. I'm a very successful, educated black man with a great family. And I'm great at basketball. I'm great at what I do. The agenda to try to keep making me look like an angry black man is crazy. I'm sick of it. It's ridiculous.
Steve, what did you learn tonight of how you can play through Jimmy, and also the defensive attention that he got as well without Steph on the floor?
I mean, I didn't learn anything that I didn't already know. Jim, you can always play through Jimmy. He's a great isolation player, great passer, and it's more about figuring out, who to put around him and who's going to be playing, in Game 3, what our rotation is going to look like, because it's not as simple as, Steph's out, so we just replace him with one person. The domino effect of Steph being out led to Trace playing tonight, because we need the scoring, we need the finishing, and you saw what he did out there. Same thing with JK. We had found a formula over the last couple of months, and obviously we're having a lot of success. But without Steph, the formula completely goes out the window, and we've got to figure out the next formula.
That's what you and JK, the minutes weren't real good, but you mentioned attacking. What would it be work with 2 attackers? You mentioned Kaminga can do that. How might that benefit this team?
I mean, he's a great basketball player. I can play with anybody. He can play with anybody. It's all about playing basketball the right way. That's all it is. Attack to score, attack to pass. You just make the right play over and over and over again every single time, no matter who you're out there with. Just play basketball the right way, and me and JK could thrive, can and will thrive together on the basketball floor.
Obviously, you get minutes. You go 8 for 8 to start. Did you feel like you were back into some sort of rhythm? Did you feel like you were really into the playoffs?
Yeah, I think once I came out for the first couple minutes and I went back, and I feel like, the confidence just came back, especially knowing us the way we started wasn't that great, Pretty much everybody else had to step up and just went out there and just try to compete, and I think everything just fell in line.
Steve, can you talk about Steph's presence on the bench? And at one point when Draymond was getting heated, he went over and kind of calmed him down, and he seemed like he was talking a lot. You had said he was going to be like a coaching presence. Yeah. Was he?
He was great. I mean, he sat a couple seats down. We talked a couple times during the game, and he was talking to all the players. And yeah, I mean, I don't know exactly what he was saying to the guys, but it's very comforting having him on that bench for our guys.
Following up on that Draymond moment, why would you describe sort of what you saw happen, and it looked like you took him out because you could see he was getting heated?
Yeah, I could see, he had gotten pretty upset, and I just didn't want him to get another technical, so I took him out at that point, and I know he's going to have to be careful now. He's is he 2 techs away?
5 techs and 2 flagrants, and so it's 7 and 4.
So
Two
two more
tech-
techs, he'll be suspended.
Or 2 more flagrants, right?
Yeah. So he's going to have to stay composed. Obviously, we need him, and I'm confident that he will because he knows, he knows the circumstances.
Were you frustrated or disappointed given how poised he's been the last couple games? How much he seemed to lose it a little bit tonight?
It's part of Draymond, the same thing that makes him such a competitor and a winner, puts him over the top sometimes, and we know that, and it's our job to try to help him stay poised, stay composed. But the competition is so meaningful to him that occasionally he goes over the line.
What has been your process for staying ready over the past month or so?
Working out, watching film, staying strong mentally, just those three, and I think just being a good teammate. That's the biggest things, that keeps me ready.